Association or Champions League.
Sure.
Yeah. So be our call.
Oh, Namiadum.
And then what new seat?
Now say me mama coach day.
Oh, by on the screens you don't look, you look perfect.
And me who dear, but as a memo handy.
Oh, a change, you get used to it. Usually changes like that.
And you change, you know. I could be very, very comfortable. But I say
so is the change from the old one to the new one?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy and decide you are very fine?
Yambo finance abaso.
I don't know about that.
Mama new one.
Omnom the mouth the
mommy.
Okay.
Maintenance and I'm into them years.
Okay.
Yeah. V.
Did you think a lot of people thought, say, when we're starting the English Premier League, you started Champions League, you know, you a couple of debutant teams, including Bodø.
Yeah.
Oh, did they ever dawn on you?
No, never. Say Bodø, a bit me teams with a City, Atletico Madrid, and to some extent, experienced side in Inter Milan, beating them home and away.
Yeah. But you see, when you painstakingly go and look at the history of Bodø, where they've come from, especially since 2018, 2019, it doesn't look like a fluke. But then, of course, there is always a crowning moment. Say, Oshasia, and go and pay attention. It's just like every other job. Until, say, the crowning moment comes. Then people begin to say, okay, I see a Shesani pay. And I think that's a similar story to the story of Bodø Glimt. Rich, the team is a very, very interesting one. To be very honest, Enra, I felt strongly that there was only a small margin of probability. I bet near Bomber Bodø, Aquahodum, Gusepe Mienza, Aquakoshe Inter. And Rich, listen to my words carefully. For me, it wasn't about say whether Bodø could not qualify. With a 3-1 win, there was a high probability Bodø bet me a qualify. Although I felt like Inter will go. But Rich, say Oku Gusepe Mienza, Aquakoshe Inter, not draw, not lose the game, but to beat Inter and then qualify.
So no preview. Me grandma catch you say.
Yeah.
So we game the dynamics now.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
Because Inter ni option be as will be a game. We all the 3-1.
Yeah.
And they were game deficit.
Yeah.
And there they are. The Catalan system win me more.
Yeah.
As will be able to run in the ball.
Yeah.
It mean I knew that they are Bodø will score.
Yeah.
But as you saw me to be as Inter. Yeah. And you my friend it never dawned on me.
Yeah. Go on both sides. Obviously what's going to happen. Rich, you see, the story of Bodø is interesting. Yesterday I said something to you. Unim said, when you take the Arctic Circle and that very cold parts of the world, usually country be able to the northern side have the adverse weather. So when you go to say the UK, Manchester, Liverpool, those places in the northern part of UK have some very, very funny weather. If you come to even in Africa, the northern side of Africa have very harsh weather conditions. Sometimes over Ghana, the northern side, usually your harsh weather conditions, whether it is heat or cold, depending on baby abenya. I'm not a geography person. But they are also in the northern part of Norway.
Okay.
The Bodø city, it's in the northern part of Norway. And for a very long time, not the northern clubs, not the northern part of Norway, they are more Norwegian league maybe.
Because of weather.
Because snow better, untimin travel, ball, because weather is too harsh, untimin ball. So we're not allowing them. They get qualification into the Norwegian league in 2018. And it is from there that they're beginning to build on it. The reason why I mentioned, I said, they have been doing this, but this is the crowning moment for them, is that they beat Jose Mourinho's team in the first edition of the Conference League. So, Jose Mourinho Nigeria, the first edition of the Conference League, AS Roma, and they beat them 6-1. To be very honest, I felt that so share with 2 games on the boy versus Inter, any Manchester City. The Inter first leg was in Bodø. The Man City one was in Bodø. I felt that no, based on the weather condition, maybe the adverse weather condition that the City team and then the Inter team were not acclimatized to, most likely could have affected that. But for them to repeat that feat in Spain against Atletico de Madrid, and then go to Italy and do it again against Inter, that is why for me, I was vehement said, I beg James Omar say Inter, because they have the advantage of the weather. Oh, to quite every Italy to go to nowhere, and Nicolo Barella can. It's a long distance. Then you have to acclimatize to time, acclimatize to weather. But for them to come into the south of Europe and come and beat Inter and beat Atletico, we need to give them every credit.
They are well composed.
Yeah.
From defense, midfield, attack, and one on mobile, and who be no move, and one game on the down. I see some of the ball now. They are so relaxed, unpassable now, run themselves, create chances, you know, and who they are going to show.
Yeah.
I bought for them.
You see,
but too much.
I wanted us to even wait small before we talk about the brevity of a more tactical setup. Why do I say that? I'll come to it within a second. But listen to our coach after the game speaking to TV2 from Norway, Knutsen. This is what he says. He said, what is the reason? He has been there since the 2018 time. Oh no, this is tactical information about team. What has gone on? This is what he says. Also, it's been quite a journey to get where we are now, and there are so many people who have been part of that journey together. The team, the coaching staff, the medical department, and all the people working behind the scenes every single day to gain those small margins. There are an incredible number of people behind us, and I like that because it is easy for the coach on the night to say hey, you don't call any tactical prowess and I'm a team to do. But in this case, he points to the medical staff, probably the kitchen staff, the hands that help the club, and he goes on. I'll say, if I feel we had much better control in the second half, it turned into a defensive contest. We have to be honest and admit that this wasn't exactly how we had imagined the game would unfold. But the goal we scored to make it 2-0 was absolutely fantastic, and that's a bit typical of us. We somehow managed to piece something together when we really need it most. And you see, the last line of this thing when he said, we somehow managed to piece it together when we need it most. It is typical of Vikings people. The Norwegians, the Danes, the Finns, those people that are classified as the Vikings. No? Which, you see, the story where I told you that not more league because of adverse weather conditions. No? That is the thing. They have now come to make something out of the nothing that they were having in the northern part of Norway, and they're having an excellent time. Which, so what should the Norwegian national team? You look at it, and only 2 players are those who don't play with the Bodø Glimt team. The goalkeeper of Sevilla and Erling Braut Haaland. Everybody who starts in that team, most likely, if you know a team in them. Yes, some more other players, but majority in the last few games are from the Bodø team, and most of them are Norwegians because a non-Norwegian able to go to that side of the world. Which tactically, how did they do it? There is something the coaches call the 4-3-3 rotational plan. Anna say the Pep Guardiolas, and when the positional play started, some managers do almost play the strict positional play 4-3-3. So what they do is that, so we are number 6 like bench, you have to be a 6, be in that zone, a strict. I say military, no. So we are number 11, number 7, stay there and keep the weight. That's the job. But for Bodø, it was a rotational job. Obi at me every left and the shema, but you have a space to go and occupy. Which I have not seen any team go to Christian Kivu's Inter and make them suffer to build up. That was for me the issue. Michel game na Inter can't build up. So oppressing high or pressing. So Oba Insani mid block now. It is so compact that Inter were not finding those passing lanes. But so Nunya Bona, a quick 1-2 vertical ball, and then they've broken down the Inter block. Look at that first goal.
I mean, a very swift.
Right.
1-2-3, no do it box him.
Very vertical. But the Inter Kitabona, you see, that is where when somebody says it's not a fluke, it is not a fluke. because they've come from somewhere, and on the night at the Gusepe Mienza, they did a job. It's not, and then a two Akanji. Senior man Akanji. One year sitting on ye be more.
And senior man, the Adiakubuti.
I say, Kanji Namsina, Kanji.
Or chair what I'm doing.
Read them.
Yeah, I'm not one. I say.
Which,
but they are Brantano or taking honor.
yeah. Which,
there's nothing I know with you.
Away from what Bodo have done, is there a problem with the Italian Serie A now? Because I love the Serie A, but there is
Champions League, you know.
Yeah,
especially League now. Kasadi, I think it's okay.
Yes,
but about Champions League,
you see,
but okay. So I'm saying Inter no me had Inter cup final. I think the last 5 years,
last year cup final. But you see, the problem is that those are outliers.
Samu,
and it's even. It's also compiling a complicated issue.
Okay.
A final against Manchester City. Yes, 1-0. And a final against Paris Saint-Germain. It was a total drab. I felt that in the second final they could have probably won it. But it was a total beating of Inter team. Now this is where my problem is, Rich. Fiorentina. Wako Conference League semi-final since this competition started. All of the Conference League semi-final. Yeah, baby, quarter semi. On GB. The Conference League have been won by Roma, West Ham, and Chelsea the last time, if I'm not missing anybody. So even in the Conference League, even in the Europa League, Italian Serie A teams ne Como, they suffer there.
But Inter team in there, Lautaro Martinez no one can. And I'm looking so normal.
Right. You see, I can agree. But for me, that's why I said that where I feel that Inter had the problem for me was someone team build up. How does the ball get to Lautaro? That is for me the bigger problem on the night. I agree. I mean, I'm not talking down the exploit of Lautaro Martinez, great, all of that. But for me, game, how do you build up? But how many times do you do that in a span of 90 minutes?
Okay.
And that is where the problem is. Which is it time for Alejandro Bastoni to leave Inter? Because Barca a left-footed centre back, Chelsea are left-footed. In fact, I feel like what Chelsea need in the market is an experienced centre back, and I don't see anyone better. Technical ability, physicality, all the way I would describe a centre back.
About Chelsea,
which main degenerative conversation. But for me, is it a time? Mankaso Mbambo Chelsea. Messi Barca per centre back. Chelsea per centre back. So is it a time for him to leave? When he's 26.
So when you mentioned Chelsea.
Any club. It can be born with any club.
Okay, but maybe they prefer to go about Chelsea.
No problem. I mean, no one problem. Rich, when he 26, Rich, I can't in 2 years.
Okay.
No, Chelsea go Conference League.
No conference I'm to be. Now more Champions League more way.
But Chelsea more Conference.
More can numbers no okay niabo.
But Chelsea more Conference League and more Conference.
Oh, minimum some more Champions League.
So let's just
me person Chelsea I'm more love your conference.
Rich, we're having a good conversation.
Yanko mamdio.
Say how
yanko.
You put the person off. Now we don't see yanko.
Champions League need more but I'm love your conference league.
Rich, I'm not doing that with you today.
Let's
say Alejandro Bastoni will be 26. I can't 2 years on the contract. The contract ended 28 or 2026. Clubs in Europe want left-footed centre backs.
That's it.
What do you think?
Uncle Bako. On Juicy back no. I think Inter maybe.
What shall we Inter
team?
But the problem is also the price.
The boarding.
That's what I'm betting 80 million.
Oh, that's what we experience in the 80, I think is normal.
Granted, when you Chelsea a film, Barca beat me to 80 million for Barca.
Barca them yes was on Bocon. There's any free maybe a 2010.
It's too much. Like
Barca Nibia would man open him say Barcelona and Enkutia 80 million for Bastoni. They won't do that. 60 grand they won't do it. Maybe a 20, 30, 40 be fine.
Then feasibly, where can Bastoni go?
Possibly be a Chelsea and Musa no between Tiano.
But just Chelsea to experience than saying.
Oh, maybe now some penny for the transfer here the project Chelsea now. Look, now we need an experienced defender Baba Boy with you. Because defensively, money had it.
I said Bastoni free. Chelsea, they are taking with 2 arms. Bastoni is one of my favorite center backs. Now Atletico Juman will fee against Club Brugge, and that's a very good one from them. Some to me, Juman. First half, one was a little bit worried. Newcastle also firmed it up against Karabakh in an aggregate 9-3 also game. The Newcastle are building the momentum, and now all of their players are almost in between Chelsea and Barcelona. Okay, Bayern for Leverkusen could not score. I was very disappointed, but of course, Bayern for Leverkusen and the job by Kasper Jolban, no, they've gone through. Rich,
because can't Barca as I do for me.
You see, it's all throw.
Say they.
Because but they are raising money now. France are come to the stadium to make me resist.
Okay.
It's
you must see 60 and 80.
80. Baba 80 you ready. So 80 this year too small. This is all the bear 5 million. I had the 4 million. Now Princeton moon how much we get Scaribo because 80 million the bassa for the bed there so when you say Scaribo.
Players no start to do this can be near the Akotono. You move on.
But team you bring Bastoni be in your center back.
Sure. Experience.
If you get Bastoni, in fact, after the game, I'm saying, Inter team, you can say, Kuma, when me in a free man, I'll take Bastoni. Which can upset happen? Game win looks like there's drama. It looks like there's drama. It looks like the BBC was Santiago Bernabeu and anyway.
Benfica,
no, not just the qualification for Benfica, but based on racism issue that happened the first time. Sorry, Gianluca Prestiani. Now he's traveled with the team. He trained. I saw the UEFA's friend saying statements out about not able to play. The fact that the young man will not be able to play in this game and all of that. But it looks like Jose Mourinho is on a red card. He's not going to be on the dugout. Kylian Mbappe, Epra, he's not going to be part of the team. It looks as if there can be drama in this game. And now. Rui Costa, who is known for very controversial takes, even as a player and controversial stance at the time, or say Prestiani is being called a racist, but he is anything but a racist. I can guarantee. I cannot know what was said or not said. What we believe is the word of Prestiani. More than that, no more than that, it is knowing the player we have at home. And I think that is the best way to protect a player. Say, who protect, say, a branch friend Gianluca Prestiani. Is the right thing to do. Make sure say boy any a player almost he stands for the things that you want to do there. Then Gianluca Prestiani is good. And now he was part of the team. Then heights and air out. Which the biggest issue branch of friend Kylian Mbappe. Almost say there is a lot of pain on the 9 left in him. And according to AS Darius, they are even clear. Say Kylian will not play in any way. Rich. Madrid this season, the most prolific of the lots have been when both Mbappe and then Vini Jr. are on the field of play. So when you look park and so Madrid are more dangerous. And if you look at the number of times both of them have assisted each other, it's clear. 9 chances created from Vini to Mbappe this season was Champions League. Whilst Mbappe has given Vini 10 of those chances ever game in him. Nyayet is a one shiny na ebeye Goncalo Garcia and the Babijina game him and the Amar Brantia, your friend Kylian Mbappe if he's not able to play. The back four, obviously, we're expecting Rudiger to be in there, and our Brantia friend Asensio, Trent, and Alvaro Carreras. We're expecting Orien Chimeni, Ada Gule, Federico Valverde, our Brantia friend Eduardo Camavinga will do the box-to-box job. Then Vini Jr. Stands up top, depending on if our Brantia friend Kylian Mbappe will be in. And now, all the best news that happened to Madrid, and it's a Jude Bellingham. Back on the grass or any training. Avera Belloa said we are very eager to enjoy a great Champions League night at the Bernabeu. Obviously, it's going to be very interesting for our brand friend Avero Abeloa, which also BBNC. Madrid will win and qualify.
I'm sure I'll qualify.
I'm sure I'll qualify with you. Whether Mbappe is in or not in, Madrid will qualify. I think I can agree with you on that score. Now, Juve any Galatasaray match there?
Juve Galatasaray.
Galatasaray can share it's a 5-1.
5-2 first leg. Juve with him.
But the match 90 minutes.
Juve win.
Juve will win the game at
But
home,
they won't even qualify.
but they will not be able to qualify. I think I can also agree with that. And
PSG best Monaco.
PSG best Monaco fee.
No more Yoma free.
And say the matches in the street for they say and one shiny year Inter say in your man. Maybe today the home teams will actually go.
Sure.
Because you are saying that Juventus Anya Shekra double chance with fee. But I'm qualify obviously.
Yeah.
Paris Saint-Germain will fear they against Monaco. Straight win, no problem. Goals maybe can be just 1-0.
Sure.
They will go through, and I think I trust in that as well. And Abranti Efren Ousmane Dembele is back with the squad. Was started training, although he's not going to start. Vicha Kvaratskhelia, Desire doing Abranti Efren, Brady Bakola. Then Dortmund are going away to Atalanta. It's another game where I see goals coming, both teams scoring, and Atalanta not losing the match per se. Bergamo, and it's going to be a good one. Rich, what I'll say is that because of Inter, things did not go on well for the boys. But right after times like that, things begin to shape up well. It's an investor. I'll be very sorry for you, pass it, and then it looks clear, you will stay out of it. It's Rich. Remember with TFO codes kakra. Near your coffee kesim. Which first one a BW3F 6F 19B0. That is the first one. The second one is BW3F 6EEBEA. Third one a BW3F 6EB633. Fourth one a BW3F 6E9335. Then the last one is BW3F 6E78E9. Which these are the codes I'm in we know what here for. Now, boys and say Tuesday, I don't umpire na yana.
It's a Tuesday, no.
Monday no koda baby ana. Buy any because
Salome.
Tuesday is the boss about.
Salome to the all card is any the ball like baba. Jenna my book green pie. I go some bedi obi an kwetwa bi na onu nso eni Fifi Manfred na ya tenen kano.